Oh, hello there. Don't mind me. I'm just vaping on my cyborg vape warcock. You might call it a mod and a tank, but I call it the rise of the machines. Resistance is futile. This is the review of the SMOK XCube II and TFV4 mod and tank system. Don't fight the clouds now. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, here it is, the much anticipated, at least as far as my own anticipation goes, review of the XCube II mod and TFV4 tank by SMOK. Look at that LED fire. Look at that thing fire! The XCube II and TFV4 you've probably been hearing a lot about online on the internets and on forums where people vape and talk about shit, and deservedly so, because what SMOK has done has essentially created an aggressive standout in the increasingly crowded and increasingly imitated sub-ohm tank and ridiculous watts temp control fucking rewired kinetic psychic power mod war. And they've done a lot of things right. I don't know if there's too much room for improvement in that what they set out to create was an absolutely gigantic vape setup in terms of features, in terms of vapor production, in terms of juice consumption. Holy shit, this thing eats juice. And I think they've done a pretty phenomenal job, especially given the price point for what you can get these two online. And you can have both of these. Yes, you can own a Terminator-style Warhammer of vapor destruction for under $100. And given the feature set of the mod and the just Transformer-esque nature of the TFV4, so named because the TF stands for Taste Furious, which you will be once you realize that this thing has eaten 20 mils of your juice in under a day. V4, meaning this thing comes with a fucking quad coil. 4 coils. And as if that wasn't enough, they've released a 6-coil coil. It's a coil with 6 coils in it. 6 goddamn coils. What the fuck? I mean, I want it. I want it. I want 6 coils, because frankly 1 coil isn't enough anymore. 2 coils. Pfft, what are you gonna do with 2 coils? Nah. 3 coils? Okay, we're getting somewhere. 4 coils? Now we're speaking my vape. Maybe now we can hang out. Maybe now I'll consider going to the vape prom with you, because you have 4 coils. How about 5 coils? Nah, fuck that. SMOK skipped 5 coils. Who wants a pentuple coil? Not me. Pentagram, sign of the devil, they went straight to 6. Furious 6 coils. I don't have the 6-coil coil. That just came out. What I do have is the tri-coil, which is in now. The 4 coil. Do you speak 4 coil? That's in the box. Not 1, but 2 RBA sections. 2 RBA. You get a lot of shit with this tank. And it's a really impressive package. But I must stress, this thing is huge. I'm a big guy. I'm 7'3" in real life. No joke. And this thing is gigantic. It's heavy as fuck. big. Like if you're out with your XCube II and TFV4 and someone mugs you, you just grapple by the tank, the TFV4, and you have a hammer. You have a fucking, I think actually in Battlestar, the Cylons who do vape use the XCube II and TFV4 as weapons. But what I will say is this thing puts out incredible vapor. Just amazing vapor production. And what's really nice about this setup, and I'll go into the features in the close-up because there's just too many to talk about right now. What's really nice about this setup is the flavor of the vapor. Usually when you have setups like this that chuck it to tits, you sacrifice a lot on the actual flavor of the vapor. You know, like for every cloud chucking setup you'll have some dude who's still using his K-Fun V1 talking about how you can't taste the jasmine berries in the vapor the way he can. Well, that guy can kiss your fucking ass right now, because this thing produces amazing flavor as well. Before we even get into it, I'm going to say this is a great buy. It's a great buy for at-home cloud blowing like a mofo, and taking out once in a while when you just want to either piss off people with your clouds or make your friends jealous with how goddamn cyber you are. For me, it's just too big to take out of the house. It's like, it weighs as much as my MacBook. But for everyday usage, for at home, I use this thing all the time, just sitting at my desk. It's amazing. Alright, so, you've heard me talk a lot about this. I'll take another vape off this. Now let's dive down, open up the boxes, go through the hardware, and talk about all the different things this thing does, because it does a lot. SMOK actually, it's firmware upgradable, and there's a new firmware setup where this will actually defrag your hard drive. No joke. No joke. It's the SMOK defrag upgrade. Downloadable via Bluetooth. Alright, so let's dive the fuck in. We have a lot of ground to cover. It's going to be a long video. I hope you don't have any plans tonight. I hope you finished watching Mr. Robot, because we have a cyborg vape warcock to talk about. Alright, so here are these two big-ass boxes. Here, of course, is the case for the SMOK XCube II, and this is the case for the TFV4. Taste Furious V4. So, what to do? I'm going to be vaping on one of these setups as I talk. Because, just look at this thing. I mean, look at the size in your hand. I have big hands. Like I said, I'm 7'9" in real life. And this thing's big. The fire button is built into the side of the mod. Of course, you can see there's an LED right there. I have it set to rainbow mode, because I was a fan of Rainbow Bright as a child. You can set that LED to any color you want. You can do that within the mod or in a Bluetooth app, which I will show you. Alright, this one's all fingerprinted up, so I'm just going to vape on this while I talk. The clouds. So, let's unbox this bitch. SMOK, which according to one of my lovely users, we have learned is, what was it, Dutch? It means dragon. It means dragon in Dutch, or Finnish, or something, I have no idea. Opening this up, you have the silicone gel. These are great on crackers. You have the tank itself. So before I break the tank down, let's go into what's in the case. Now this is the TFV4 full kit. You can buy the tank by itself with one coil. I would recommend going for the full kit just because you get a lot of shit in the full kit. That rhymes. Here you have the card that says this tank can be used as a spark plug in your car. It's a spare spark plug. You have a manual, which is funny that the manual is so small. Is this a school for ants? this says you can vape off this, and in case of a mugging in an alley, it can be used as a weapon. Full instructions on how to use it as a weapon. And here we have the multitude of coils. Japanese organic cotton, just in case you didn't have enough. Like I said, you know who really loves vaping? Organic Japanese cotton farmers, that's who. Spare glass. Spare glass, man. O-rings. Oh! Rings! Now, I don't know if I was supposed to get this, because SMOK sent these to me for review. Let me just adjust the focus here. On my fancy new camera, I can actually get proper focus. Bear with me. We'll call that proper. So, the full kit, I don't think comes with this. This is the dual coil. So this is the RBA, this is one of two RBAs. This is the dual coil RBA. I'm not sure you get this with the full kit. It is quite nice. Nice big juice channels, as you can see. You can trap the leads under the post holes, which makes building very easy. I'll show you the other RBA and then give you my thoughts on this having an RBA at all. Let's screw that back in. Threads are nice. I mean, it's just a really robust coil. The size is very impressive. Size does matter when your name is SMOK. Here is the single coil RBA for people where 2 is just too much, but it has a nice coil pre-installed. You get plasti wraps for the tank, which I actually like. They make gripping the tank nice and easy. You get an actual real screwdriver. Fuck you, little blue screwdriver. The TFV4 screwdriver says, "There's your butt." And a new top seal for the top fill, which we will get into. Here, of course, is the quad coil. As you can see, there are 4 wicking holes in there. And you can look down. There's essentially 4 coils up in that, all firing independently. And boy do they. These are rated from... This is a... let me look here. This is a 0.15 from 40 to 140 watts. And it can take 140 watts, although I wouldn't recommend it. The vape is just really fucking hot. So let's put that back in here and let's get into the tank. So this is the tank. In it, the tri-coil comes pre-installed. I guess I've shown you the coils, so let's just get into it. Unscrew it. Unscrew it like you mean it. You unscrew from here, it screws into the coil, then the glass itself, and this tricked me up a little bit. You have to kind of shake the glass out. Don't you? Yeah. It sits in there pretty snugly. I filled it with a long time thinking the glass was stuck, but no. The glass really just kind of pops in there. You got to jiggle it a little bit. This is the tri-coil, which I have been using in my tank, which I love. I just love the design on that thing. I mean, 3 independent vertical coils. And I will say, I've been using this coil in my unit for 2 weeks now, and they're still vaping like the day I put them in there, man. They've taken almost 0 damage. It's amazing how well these things hold up. They have 3 wicking channels on either side, airflow at the bottom, and of course 3 independent coils. The sextuple coil, which they just released, is the same design, the same coil head, but with dual parallel coils in each one. So twice the vapor in your butt. Okay, here is the base. The coil screws into. Airflow at the bottom. There's no clicking of the airflow. Just kind of turns, and it just keeps turning. No big deal there. No big errors with the airflow. Airflow is quite nice on this, I must say. So let's put this back together. And from the base, whoops. This is the first time using my new camera setup, so please bear with. Put that in there, snug as a bug, in a lug. Screw it from the top. Boom, assembled. One of the marquee features of this tank, which I can say works very well, is the top fill. This top is on a hinge. You just... am I doing this the right way? Am I going the right way? Alright, here we go. There's an arrow on the top in case you're an idiot like me. There you go. And it just swings out. And there's a silicone ring. As you saw the replacement in there. And you can get a nozzle in there. It's actually quite nice. It's big enough and it's flexible, so you can just kind of jam it in there. That air can escape as you're putting juice in, and it works very well. And I think the most impressive thing to me is I've filled this thing many times, and I haven't needed to close off the airflow before I do it. With almost all top fill tanks I've used, you have to close off the airflow before you fill it from the top, or else the air pocket does not work. But for some reason, you don't need to with this one, meaning you can literally just swing it open, pop some juice in there, and go about your day. If you do get one of these and you do fill it, leave about yay much room, because I've filled it to the top, and then when you close this, juice comes squishing out that side right there. That will not happen if you don't need to fill it all the way to the top, so get it to about here to avoid juice leaking out of the top. As far as leaking goes, I haven't experienced any, which is nice. Oh, of course, and their rather unnecessary drip tip. As you can see, there are two rings in the drip tip, the inner ring that the vapor comes out of, and the outer ring, which cools the vapor, and also means that your lips don't get heated up with the vapor. This inner-outer ring thing is nice. It's a lot to wrap your lips around. That's what I said to her. It's true. And then, of course, they have the airflow in the drip tip, which people seem to be doing, but I really don't find myself using that often. I'll like open it up once or twice, and I'll be like, oh, look, it's airflow in the tip. And then I close it off, because I'm like, oh, that's really taking a knock on my flavor over here. So, whatever. It's a feature. I don't really care if you put it in. I'm just not really going to use it. And here's the tank. Now, this tank is a big bitch. It's 24.5 millimeters. We're talking original sub-tank size. It's big. It will not... it will fit on your 22 millimeter devices, but it'll look stupid, just for shits and giggles. Let's see what this looks like on top of a sub box. Yeah. It's big. It's very big. Hey, you know what? Fuck it. It's my channel. Let's see what this looks like on top of a first-gen tiny-ass Ego battery. Hell yeah. The past and the present combined. What are you vaping on? Got a quad, triple double quad coil. Vaping off my Ego battery. No big deal. What are you vaping on? What are you vaping on? And here we have the box for the XCube II. You have writing on the back that tells you about the stuff, QR codes to bring you to stuff, side of the box, there's the bottom of the box, and the top of the box. So, I don't even really need to do an unboxing, but why the hell not, because it doesn't really come with much, but then again, why should it? There's the box, there's the mod, silica, these go really good on pasta. There's the battery itself, and down in here, whoa, let's knock that shit over. Stop it. And then you get a piece of paper, and then a manual. No, not a manual. This is the card that says, this is not stolen. This is not the XCube 9 Fast Tech clone. All kinds of stuff in here. All kinds of stuff. Quality. Manual. Manual. There's a big manual. There's a lot to go through in this. There's a lot of features. I don't have time to go through all the features. I'm gonna just... What up? These are my hands. Let's just put that. And then you get a case in here for carrying it around, like you're carrying your gems from Goonies. You get a micro USB cable, as if you didn't have enough of these, and more silica. These go great in coffee. Alright, so here's the mod itself. The battery door on this side slides out, dual 18650. One of my only design notes on this thing, look at that. Look at that. Jiggle, jiggle, jiggle. Doesn't really even take a lot of effort to get that thing to jiggle jiggle. I wish they had secured that a little more, because it does tend to slide back when you're holding it. Not a big deal, but why not? As I said, the fire button is built into the mod, so you literally just grip and the LED fires up. The screen is on top of the mod, something I actually like quite a bit. You can flip this. The way it ships is it's flipped this way. I tend to vape with the tank down, so it's really cool being able to vape and just see this thing go. And just see this thing go. So here's a big beef of mine that a lot of battery manufacturers seem to be doing. The menu system is on a delay. 1, 2, 3 to get into the menu. There's the Bluetooth. And then you click through the menu options. And then to get into the one that you want, you have to just wait. Do, 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 do. Then you set the different LEDs off. Jump, blah, blah. This is where you do the different colors in the LED, which you can also set from the app, which I'm about to show you. No, I don't want the LED off. I want that. See? And then mode, LED, wait for it, RGB. Let's go with that. Speed, and you can set the speed of the LED itself. So yay. But I hate the fact that I have to wait like 3 seconds to get anything done on this. And then you get the info on the screen itself. There you go. I like the screen there a lot, because you're not doing this as you vape. You can see exactly what's coming at your mouth. So again, 3 clicks to get into the menu. You have Bluetooth. You have the mode. Wait for it. Watt, temp, memory, don't know what that is. We're going to stay in wattage mode for the rest. For right now. Watt hard! This is how hard you want it to kick. Let's just go with max. I want it to kick right away. Kick my ass, max. Kick my ass to the max. Oh, 3 clicks. One more button would have solved all this. But no. Puff counter. Who the hell uses a fucking puff counter? Oh, you know what? I gotta cut down my vaping. I've taken 7,000 puffs today. I don't know how many puffs I've taken. No. No, I'm not even gonna dick with the puff counter settings. No. I won't do that. Reset puffs? Yeah, why not? Okay. So there you go. But why is there an iPhone on your desk? Well, let me tell you. This has an app. You may or may not ever use this thing. I don't find myself using it much, but it's kind of nice knowing it's there. This is connected via Bluetooth. And here you can set the temp control mode. In fact, let me throw on a temp tank, because the app is very effective for that. So let's just put that aside here. Take off my huge tank. Put that somewhere special. There's no way that's going to... Here, let's see if it leaks. We've got another SMOK product, which I have reviewed, which I quite like, the TCT, temperature control tank. Put this into temp control mode. Wait for it. The min, max, soft, norm, hard, max, they determine how many watts it's going to kick at the tank. This is not an extremely robust tank, so I'm just going to keep it at norm. Here's where you set the nickel coefficient. I don't really know what that means, but people who do know what that means, this is single coil or dual coil. This is a dual. Wait for it. Alright, so I have it set to 470 Fahrenheit. You can see it ramping up, and you can see it ramping down. But what you do get on the app is you can actually set all the temp shit from here. So let's bring it to 441. Nickel coil. Confirm. Coefficient. Custom power. And check. You can see it reset the temp. On the app, you get real-time data on what you're doing, which is kind of fun. And of course, this all goes in your puff plan. I mean, did we really need a Fitbit for vaping? No. Is it dope as shit to have? Yes. Cancel the limit of puff numbers. Are you sure you continue? Are you sure? Are you sure? Continue to use? Enable. I don't know what I just did, but I don't really care. And this real time data on my shit. On my unit, this is a gripe I have with this. I'm not on this unit, but not on the one that's unused. I get sticking like a motherfucker. You hear that? Still firing from the top, right here. When I fire it, I hold from the bottom. It's good. But this top plate right here sticks real bad and will continue to fire. I can't call this a negative outright because on the unit in the box, this didn't happen. So I'm not sure if this is just a my unit thing. But if anyone else who's watching this has an XCube and is having problems with sticking, let me know, because I'd love to know if it's just this unit, because this is a real pain in the ass, because I have to fire it from the bottom. But again, on the other unit in the box, no sticking at all, so who knows. So let's go back here, go back to black. Here's where you can set the LED. Alright, so where were we? We're looking through the app and its associated settings. Here you go, settings. From here, you can name your vape. Cylon Warcock. I'm going to name it that. Colon Warcock? No. Done. You can set temperature, Fahrenheit or centigrade. Charging alert 20% when you want to charge. This thing actually gets pretty respectable battery life, I gotta say. I've had this for about 2.5, 3 weeks, and I've swapped the batteries maybe 3 times, using it pretty heavily. I am impressed with the battery life. LED color. You actually get a full RGB color wheel. You can set it to cycle, 3 different colors. I think that's working. Or you can set it to, or just turn it off. As you can see, it's working. Turn it on. Let's go with this, where it cycles like that. This way, with the cycling like this, if you go to a rave and you eat some Molly, your vape can actually be one of the things that fascinate you, which is nice. Vapor upgradation, if you want to upgrade your vape. This is titanium mode, 50 cents. Stainless steel wire temp, 99 cents. I don't really care. Nor do I really mind paying another 50 and 99 cents. It's $1.50. I spend as much on Candy Crush. Alright, so that's the app. There's a puff calendar. Depressing information there. I think that's it. Let me put this down. What else do I need to show you? Look at that. Look at those disco lights fly. The temp control seems pretty accurate from what I've found. 'Tis nice. You know what? It's time to head back into the wide. I need to talk about this. I've gone through so many features, my eyes are bleeding. See you in a second. Are you worn out from that? Because I am worn the fuck out from that. That was an extremely long review. That was a feature-tastic review. So, what's the rundown on the XCube II and the TFV4? Individually, they're both very impressive. Paired together, they are an unstoppable force of vape warfare and destruction. If you're in the mod for a big setup, and I must stress that this is huge. I'm 8'3" in real life, and this doesn't even barely fit in my hand, and I can actually palm an entire barbecue with my hand. That's how this is big. This is very big. I don't really have many notes design wise. The battery door, that thing, nah. I wish they'd secured that a little more because it's clickety-clackety. The mod itself is a fingerprint magnet because it's so shiny and silvery, although I don't know if the murdered out all black one, the night black version, is quite as bad. And if I was going to get this, I'd wait for the night black version because it looks fucking dope. But vapor production is wonderful, and flavor is wonderful, and the amount of features that this thing comes with is just ridiculous. You might even call overkill, but I think it's really refreshing that tank manufacturer, I just got an email, has made a tank that is so expandable. Like they just, like I said, they have the sextuple coil coming out. They have a nickel coil now. They have a 1.5 ohm coil, and why the fuck you'd ever want to run 1.5 ohms on this thing is beyond me. You want your TFV4 to go toe-to-toe with your Pro Tank 2? Well, baby, they make that option for you. I really like the LED screen. Obviously, I have it in rainbow. Pick your favorite color. You can do whatever you want with this. I like how the grip button is built into the mod, although mine keeps sticking a little bit. But again, that's only on this unit, not on the other one that I have, so I can't say that's a unit-wide problem. I like the LED on the top. I like how it faces me when I vape, so I can see the warfare that's going up to my mouth as I just fucking ram it into my face, catching huge clouds of vapor. The coils hold up really well. I've had the tri-coil in here since I got it, and I haven't really even seen any discoloration in the coil itself. All in all, especially for the price you can get this shit at, I'll link to the lowest prices I can find. You can get the mod for $60 for a 160 watt mod that does temp control, has Bluetooth built in, and an app that's actually pretty well designed and does work. With color, you can't go wrong. And the tank itself, you can get the single tank for like $34, and the full kit, which comes with two different coils and an RBA, is like $39, maybe even cheaper. I'll link to it in the description. It's ridiculous what you get from all this. It's huge. It's a very big setup. It's a very heavy setup. This is not my setup to go out on the town with, unless I'm going to like a vape convention and want to be one of the guys that's blowing huge clouds, or I want to impress my friends, etc. For the most part, this stays at home with me. But at home, I use it very consistently. It's great for when I'm at my desk working. I just grab it and just blow sick titty clouds all over the place. Or in the living room, just fucking get a huge cloud, just blow it at my girlfriend. And she's like, what the fuck is that? I'm like, Cylon Warcock. So do I recommend this? Yes, I definitely recommend this. Because if you don't want a big setup, you're obviously not going to get this. If you do want a big setup, get this. This is definitely the one to go with. And where they're going to go with it, who knows? Because they keep adding features to it, which is really refreshing in a vape setup. It being able to be where it's at right now and grow with time. So SMOK's kind of killing it, man. I mean, they made a huge comeback. They were one of the OG players in the vape game. You remember that? Like, they were like, it was them and Kangertech and I don't know, SMOK, whatever. They were one of the first vape makers out there, and they made some early hardware like the Hammer mod. You remember that shit? And then they just kind of went away for a while. What were they doing? They were sitting in a cave, like wanking themselves and being like, how are we gonna fuck everyone up with the next thing? And then this is it. So it's a grand return for them. And their earlier mods were good, but not great. I still have the X-Pro 280, which is still working quite nicely for me. I still use it quite a bit. But this one just reaches for the stars, and I say they did a really great job. So I'm going to give the XCube II and the 2 TFV4 two very enthusiastic thumbs up in the gigantic vape setup category. It's big, it's bold, it's beautiful, and yes, it's even black. So, go big or go home. I am Ben Morrison for the Drip Tip. Thank you guys very much for watching. More reviews on the way. Please like this video, subscribe to my channel, share the video, spread the love. And if you live in the Los Angeles area, please come to Clouds of Comedy, September 25th at Vape Rev, live stand-up comedy and vaping, free admission, free beer. And it's also like a vape hangout with the best comedians working today. It's awesome. I put a lot of time into it, and I highly recommend you show up. The info is at cloudsofcomedy.com, and I'll put that in the description as well. So as always, I am Ben Morrison for the drip tip, and if your tip ain't dripping, you tripping.